All right, welcome to a very special edition of Beginner Breakdown. I'm your host, Mike Kummer. We have a fan submission from Brazil. He reads, "Hi, St. Louis Chess Club. Here's a big fan of the channel. I really enjoy and learn a lot with the video lessons of all GMs that support the club, especially Yasser Sarian, Akobian, and Mike Kummer, not Grandmaster. Here's a game I played. Can you go over it? Gracias, Braz Rodrigo." All right, Braz, you're in luck. Today we will go over your game. All right. So in the game, let's see what color. Braz has the white pieces here, okay? And he starts out the queen pawn, d4. Black counters knight f6. The reason he brings out his knight to f6 here is to control this e4 square. So if anything goes on e4, black will take it. So white counters c4. Black plays e6. And now he does not want to be checked. So he's like, I'm playing a3, and I don't want to be checked, okay? But that check really wouldn't hurt him, but it's not the end of the world, because now this bishop is going to look for something else to do, and he doesn't have much to do. So black plays d5 here, attacking the c-pawn, and white calmly just develops his knight here. So now the bishop can't go and pin it, so now he's restrained to this e7 square. So then white brings out his knight, and black gets castled. So now what do you think white's plan should be in this position? And I'll give you a hint. He just saw black get castled to safety, and he's all chilling in his castle, living it up, while all these other guys have to do all the work. You know, that's where the king wants to be, in the castle, right? Okay, but, you know, if you play e3 here, you know, you're boxing your bishop. So first things first, let's get the bishop something to do. All right. So bishop up. So he attacks the bishop. So we could just move him back here, right? Tempting the opponent to destroy his beautiful castle. Yes?
Your food's here. Should we put it in the fridge or leave it out?
Just leave it out. All right. So that's another lesson you can learn today. Don't put hot food in a refrigerator. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So black should play he should not play g5, but you know he wants to. But he'll just destroy his castle. So you shouldn't be moving your pawns in front of your castle. So instead, our hero here, white, unfortunately just captures the knight. And by capturing it, he makes this bishop that was on e7 so mighty, you know. And he let all the pressure just out of the position, unfortunately. Okay, so now he still wants to get castled, so he should just play e3 here. Unfortunately, he plays e4, okay? So if you are not castled and your king's in the center and your opponent is castled, it's a safety, right? The last thing you would want to do, right, is break open the center of the board. Right, yeah, makes sense to me. So he should just take it here. Instead, he's like, you did something crazy, I'm going to make a crazy move. And I'll have all the pawns in the center. And so white attacks the bishop. All right, I can't blame him. And so now, we've heard about this a lot. You know, you're threatened. So instead, you get insulted. And instead of just retreating, you're like, I'm going to make a threat just as good as my opponent did. So who could you attack here that's worth the exact same as this bishop? It's black to move. So you have to attack something of equal value of this bishop. So bishops are worth 3 points. You know how much knights are worth? They're also worth 3 points, okay? So if you can generate an attack greater or equal to this attack, you'll be doing okay. So Is there any way we can attack this knight here? This knight. Yeah, this is the knight we want to attack. All right, well, if you can find a way to attack this knight, I would love to hear it. All right, here it is.
Black bishop to h4.
H4, okay, you could play bishop to h4. You'd be like just asking, hey, please take my bishop, and we'll just trade.
But if you take it a knight, okay, it's black's move, so we want an equal piece.
Yeah, so see, our bishop's under attack. So in this game, a good move would just be to retreat the bishop to safety, right?
Okay.
But he's gonna make a move that generates an attack, just like the bishop. So how in the world could he attack this knight here in one move? This knight.
In one move?
One move. So you make a move, and all of a sudden, oh my God, my knight's attacked.
Queen to.
So if we play queen to a5, okay, so this knight's in a pin, so then he takes our bishop. Are we going to take his knight back?
I think he's going to take it back.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to do that, or else he's just going to take us back, and man, we just lost a bishop, a queen for one measly knight. That didn't work out very well. That didn't work out well at all. So who else can attack the knight? And I'll give you a hint. It's pretty close to the knight. Really close. It's like so close.
Oh, the pawn.
Yeah. This pawn, right?
Right.
Okay. Pawn takes pawn. That's what the nemesis plays here. He takes, and he's attacking our knight. But it's okay. We're first. Okay. So whenever you do that, whenever you make an attack greater or equal, and you think you're so hot stuff, right? Well, guess what? You're going to be one tempo behind this whole time. So let's see if it really works out for this guy.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, you're going to put your pawn right there and you're not going to move that knight?
No, because look, we're attacking his bishop, and he didn't do anything about it. He decided he's going to attack our knight. So we're just going to go ahead with our plan straight through.
Okay.
Straight through. Yes.
Okay, so the plan initially was to attack
The
white knight.
Yeah.
So now we put pressure on the white knight with the pawn at D4.
Yeah. So we attacked Black's bishop. Black decided to make a threat greater or equal to our own. So we took our pawn that threatened the knight. So when we take his bishop, guess what he's going to do? He's going to take our knight. But it's okay. We're going to take his pawn now and destroy his castle and threaten to get a queen. The king, he doesn't like doing any work, So he's like, I'm not taking that pawn. You deal with it, okay? So now the rook just moves to safety. And so now what should white play in this position, do you think?
Oh, so the king's not in check.
The king is not in check, but the pawn is attacking the rook, right? So the rook better move. I guess he didn't want to take.
That's what I was going to say. So the king could take the pawn.
He could take the pawn, but he's very lazy, and this.
That's what I would have done.
And this pawn is actually preventing white from getting any cool checks in right now. So it's kind of like, even though he's knocking on the castle, he's in the castle. This pawn is in the castle. He's really just being like a gentleman, right? And kind of not really messing up any of the furniture or nothing.
Let me ask a quick question. He just asked that, but why would you say the pawn that wouldn't be in check? Why?
Because this pawn takes diagonally.
Oh.
He's not in the line of the king.
Okay, you're right.
So if white was smart here, he would just take this pawn here. But he wants to keep this G7 pawn alive, even though he should realize that black has no intention of actually capturing the pawn. So he decides to protect it with this queen here. So he's like, okay, you give me a free pawn, I'll take it. So queen takes the pawn back. Or actually, he doesn't take the pawn back. He should. Instead, he moves his rook over. So now we got a check on the board. There's three things you can do to get out of a check. you could capture the piece delivering the check if you're lucky enough. You can block the check, or you can move the king to safety. You cannot castle to get out of a check, even though he can't castle anyway in this position. So he decides to block with the knight. And so now pawn takes the pawn. So now he plays bishop takes the pawn. And now black finally gets his knight out, and now it's attacking the queen. So queen takes the pawn. All right, so far so good. And now black plays check. So what is in the same line as this queen here? A lot of things. So you got diagonal lines, you got vertical lines, and you got horizontal lines, okay? So in the diagonal line, what's in this same line as the queen? The precious pawn and this queen. And also this pawn, but he's irrelevant right now. And then obviously the king. So what should white do here?
So can he,
Well, he's got a lot of options. What do you think the best option is?
Move the bishop, white bishop.
Get that bishop in a pin there. All right, so that's an option. You know, I don't really like to retreat, you know. In fact, I hate it. It's like, it's not cool. All right, so we can play bishop to e2. We can play king to f1. We can play king to d1. We can play knight to e4, double blunder. Or we could capture the queen. Which one of those do you think we should do? Yeah, capture the queen, right? Capture the queen, right? And then the knight takes. Our bishop's under attack. But, you know, it's like, who cares, you know? Our knight's protecting it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns, and he's got 5 pawns. But this pawn is probably going to get captured here, huh? There's no way I can ever see to save it.
hold up, I'm kind of lost right here, right now. You just did something just.
So basically, so they checked, right? The queen is in the same line as the king. The queen is also in the same line as the enemy queen here, right? So all we have to do is take it, right? Queen takes the queen.
You move the king.
Yeah, we move the king. So we take and then the knight takes, and that would be the position. We would just trade the queens. And this position isn't that bad for white. I mean, he's definitely not winning, but it's better than the alternative. Instead, he puts his king in the center of the board after the check. Okay. And so now king takes the pawn. We attack the rook, or the rook attacks the queen. So queen takes the queen, rook takes. And now, can you see a move that makes white just give up in this position? It's so powerful. Wow. Yeah, you'll be like, wow. So in this position, black plays rook to d8, and unfortunately our hero just doesn't have the energy to go on after this. So, I mean, in this position, you guys gotta fight on. There's nothing cool about premature resignation, okay? It's like, you know, there's nothing good that can come from it, right? You could still battle on. You're only down 1 pawn, and his bishop, pretty bad. Yeah, bad bishop. And that's making this rook bad. So you just gotta look for the positives in the position, okay? Sure, you're not castled, but, you know, you can just move out of the pin here, and life goes on, okay? Well, yeah, you can just move around and just say, hey, just try to beat me somehow. Try to beat me. How are you going to do it? Well, yeah, you got to figure out something, okay? All right. So thank you for the online submission. We'll try to respond to more of these as they come in here. All right, next game up is, let's try to find another good game here. All right. It's my game. And I'll show you when you should resign, all right? Yeah. All right. So I had the black pieces against Dr. Schuman, and my whole mindset was to obliterate them, okay? So let's see if it comes to that, okay? So white plays E4. So I try to confuse my opponent and play something I've never played before, knight F6. So what is attack of white's right off the bat? Which one of his pawns or pieces is under attack right now?
E4.
E4, right. So he should probably defend it. But instead he decides to play knight F3, and he's now down a pawn for nothing. So queen attacks the knight, so protect it. Knight attacks the pawn and the knight, so, you know, you gotta give him double pawns. If you want double pawns so bad, there you go, buddy. All right, enjoy them. Living the life. So bishop now pins the knight. So queen gets out of the pin and also attacks the pawn. So bring the knight out. Bishop E2. So now the knight's really not in a pin. All right, so E5. So, all right, so I think I'm really good. I played E5. I got my whole plans all working out. And he attacks my bishop. So I decide to go ahead with my own plan of forking the knight and the queen. But what move does he play so my pawn actually cannot capture either of them, even if he wanted to so bad? You got any ideas, Kevin?
Queen E3.
Queen E3 puts the pawn in the pin. And so now I'm mad. So when you're mad, you take something, okay? Luckily, I didn't take the pawn. I wised up and took the knight, all right? And so now he's like, oh, haha, you can't take my bishop. So I'm like, well, we'll see about that. So I play bishop to E7 to get out of the pin. And now he looks foolish because he got to move his bishop right back, all right? All right. But yeah, he doesn't have double pawn, so he must be feeling pretty good. Because he saw these and he's like, oh man, why did I want these? so all right. So I get castle to safety. This is great. All right. And so he plays D3. So you know, so there's some moves I could do here. But if I took, even though I'd be breaking open the center, it would be undoubling his pawns. I'm not doing him any favors, okay? Because I'm all about obliteration. All right, so F5. All right, so A4, key move there. Don't castle to safety. Play A4. All right, good job. So when you play F5, it just looked like, hey, I just played F5 to protect the pawn, which is true. But I also played it so I could play F4 and keep this thing rolling. So back up. All right, so now bishop to H4, threatening the big check. So if he plays his grandiose plan of moving the A pawn, all right, what super move do I have here? Any ideas? And we saw that how I forked the knight and the queen earlier to no avail, but I did it. but I saw that and it's fresh in my mind, so it's like, yeah, I want to fork everybody with my pawns. So I have
So you wouldn't take that knight and get that pawn?
No, I would actually take this pawn with check.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah. King takes. Yeah, the bishop, right.
I mean.
Yeah, sure. Oh, wait. Yeah, so I got the pawn, and now do you see the king and the queen?
Yeah.
And so who can give him a check here to win the queen?
Well, I guess one of the pawns.
Yeah, one of the pawns. This guy, because they capture diagonally. So they had the big check, and it would be devastation for white. But I guess he saw it, because he's like, I'm going to take that pawn. So all my plans are ruined now. So I take, but I'm still going for it. So he plays G3. He should just capture my queen here, right? Okay. But okay, so G3, so it's like, all right, I'll take you. So pawn takes, bishop takes check. Now he's got no castle here. He's got nothing. Nothing going on. So the computer's like, hey, just get your queen out of here, and then we'll be threatening to play like rook A to D8 and all the good stuff. But you know what? I see a check.
I was gonna say, okay, you taking his queen.
And so he takes back, and now. Oh, I play E3 here? All right, so I force him to make the queen trade with E3. And then queen takes check. Queen takes no check. Queen takes no check. Rook takes check. And now he's got a better move than bishop to D2. This bishop blocks the check here. All right, so this bishop rather, is in a pin. Everybody knows. What do we do to pin pieces? We attack them or pile on, okay? Just pile it on. All right, so bishop attacks my rook. Now the A4's move's looking really good. And so now I bring my rook up right in his face, all right? So king C1, he's trying to make his own like little makeshift castle over here. Yeah, good luck. Yeah. So I could take rook takes bishop and then knight takes check, but I figure, hey, why don't I just have a superstar rook? And so now he plays C4. So what do you think I should do here? Anybody got some ideas what I should be thinking about?
You should be moving that
The rook?
yeah, right on over to.
Give him another check just for the heck of it. Well, if I get my pawn all the way to the back row, I can get a queen if I want, which I probably don't, but I could. Yeah. So pawn up threatens rook check. You want to get a queen. You get that pawn going.
Okay.
All right, so now they play the king up to attack our rook here, okay? So we could get a queen with check, and then he'll take our rook, or we could make a move with check that actually saves our rook. What could it be? Do you see it, Kevin?
Under promote double check.
Under promote with a double check. Nice. And now the knight checks. It protects the rook, and the king has to flee. So now we got 4 pieces to his 3, and we're gonna go for checkmate. So there's only one good check on this board, right? So what would it be? Because remember, we don't want to put the rook too close to the king, because kings can capture pieces if they're not defended. So should I check with this rook or this rook? That one, yes, excellent. And now he's only got one potential move, the C1. So now, do you see what this knight is protecting? You see how this knight is protecting C2 in this position? And kings cannot capture protected pieces. So we can swing this rook, get this thing, the rook right in his face here, because he can't capture it because the knight's protecting it. So now he swings this guy over, and now we have checkmate in one move. See how this knight is protected by the bishop. this rook is protected. So if we can give him a check, that's a good check. Not one that just gives a rook away for free. We're going to be the champions.
So you gonna move that root up to that one right there up to?
I assume you're talking about this one, right?
Yeah.
And that's checkmate. And the game is over. Yep, king's got nowhere out, okay? So, cool. All right, so Jonathan saw me beating up on this guy so much, he's like, I gotta get in the picture here. All right, so we're gonna let him get in the picture here. All right, so this is the first one. Jonathan had white against Dr. Schuman. All right, so E4, E5, queen to H5. We've seen this a lot in the beginner breakdown. So what are the chances Dr. Schuman's going to have a defense for this? So queen is attacking the E pawn here. So really defend it. Here's the moment of truth. Drum roll, please. He doesn't. He doesn't. So queen takes, pawn check. Bishop E7, knight up, castle. But he got castled, so he's feeling good. He's feeling good. But now Jonathan knows exactly where this king is. So he's going to get all his pieces over there probably and try to do something. All right, so rook to E8. See how the rook is now in the same line as the queen here? So he's threatening to play funny moves like bishop to A3. So he just get him off the line. Just keep it simple, right? That way there's no tactics you can fall for. All right, so he's like, I'm going to attack you anyway. And now his pawn is not looking good, making his bishop even worse. All right, so queen up. All right, so he's got dreams of checkmating on H7 now. All right, so now he's got to find a different way out for his bishop. All right. So now bishop attacks F7. Excellent, okay? And we all know the knight's probably going to be hopping in here any second now if he lets him. All right, so Jonathan didn't fall for the first time the bishop was in the same line as the queen, so let's see if he's going to do it this time. All right, castle. So now he's feeling good. You see how anywhere he moves this knight, the bishop is attacking the queen. So he's going to have to play D5 first, all right, just to throw him off guard. Pawn takes, and now knight takes D5. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
The knight is under attack by the bishop and the knight. But you see how it would be very silly for us to capture it? Because it would be bye-bye queen. It was the discovered attack. So I bet Jonathan's going to see it. And he does. But look at where he goes. This must be Dr. Schuman's birthday. He's like, you went right into the bishop-rook combo here. So he must be feeling pretty good. However, he's got to deal with this knight. So let's see if he plays C6 here. Nope. He decides to play knight F6. It attacks the queen, but leaves the rook hanging. Oh. But now he's going to concoct a way to trap his queen, I bet. Nope, sorry. Sorry, audience, he didn't. So he decides he's going to attack the knight. D3, try to get this bishop playing here. All right, C6, here it is. Here comes the trap. He's not afraid. Knight attacks the bishop, but more importantly, what else did this knight attack? F7, the crucial F7 square. So he better play bishop to H5. Oh, instead bishop to E6, asking him, hey, destroy my pawn structure, okay? And he's like, okay, if you want to, I'll do it. And now he can knight takes C6. Okay, interesting. So knight takes. So is he going to take the queen or is he going to take the free knight? Free knight. Free knight. Good job. And now he's threatening check. Let's see if he sees it. All right, he blocks it. All right, bishop to d6, and now he's got an attack coming here. All right, bishop there. You played this?
I didn't.
Oh, it does work.
Yeah, bishop h2.
Funny stuff like bishop h2 check doesn't work because you're going to get back row checkmated.
Yeah, actually,
King takes.
Before I was going to play king g3. I was.
Knight check. And then if king g3, queen takes bishop, checkmate. All right, so funny moves like that, unfortunately, do not work for black in this position. But they're worth looking for. And instead he's like, put the queen and the bishop, but he's got them backwards, right? It's like you rather have the queen in front. He might just let it happen. It's like, whatever, I don't care. Oh, he does let it happen. Oh, well, okay, so bishop took the knight. He could have just played bishop check.
I'm going to play g3.
King, pawn takes.
g3.
And then, of course, he's going to trap it with g3, but it's still kind of fun to play.
You get 3 pawns for the bishop.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we don't get that third one because bishop check, king, pawn, g3, bishop takes, pawn takes. We can't take this, or else, at least it's not checkmate this time, though. So.
Yeah, but you can get a tempo, rook to c8.
Well, let's try it. Let's keep this dubious variation going. Okay, so he just took our knight. Okay, so instead of just taking it right back, we're going for the check. Then the king moves, so the only spot. Now we take the bishop. So after g3, bishop takes, pawn takes, and now we're like, okay, we really want to take this pawn, but we know the queen will take our rook if we do. So we're just going to get a tempo here, and watch what this tempo does. It leads to probably mate in 5 here. Queen takes check, king g7. Oh, wow, yeah, wow, and it's you can't even bear to watch it anymore.
You're down a rook. You got to try something.
Right.
But not that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm convinced.
So he decides, Dr. Schuman wisely decides, okay, it's a poison pawn, so he just takes back. And so now knight to e4. Can he resist it one more time? No way. No way. And now he can just play bishop to e5 here. Oh, he does, and he's probably feeling pretty good. He's stopped that. So f4. So now he's like, oh my God, I get another pawn.
You know him so well.
So now rook. So now he's got to find a safe spot for his bishop. I bet. Oh, nope. Decides. And well, it's going to be all over pretty soon here. Check. Check. All right, well, take the bishop first, obviously. Check. Knight up. I know who would resign in this position, or a hero from game 1. He'd be like, oh, yeah, it's over now. Rook. Queen up. So you see, the rook's in a pin, so he's just attacking the pinned piece. It can't get any simpler than that, you know. So he offers the trade here. Well, everybody's laughing, so maybe they can let me in on the joke here. What move would you play here?
Well, if you put no.
I know what I would play.
I know you would play 2.
Queen takes g7, simplify it, and I'm
Yeah,
done.
terrible.
I'd probably just retreat the queen.
Yeah.
Probably there because it threatens check.
Yeah, I'd probably go.
All right, mystery solved. So he's like, so he could just be funny and play there. You didn't play there?
I did not play there.
That's funny. All right, so first things first, check.
No, and then resigned.
King here.
Yeah, he resigned.
All right, well, where would he go? Okay, so,
Queen f5 was my intention.
Where? Oh, queen here, or rook h5.
Queen F5.
Check him again. King back.
And then I thought knight F6 was cool.
Knight f6, cool. Yeah. I mean, you're up so much material. You could just take.
If you move the knight, pawn takes rook. Right? There's no mate.
No mate.
There's no mate.
Queen c8. Oh. See that? The knight is blocking the pivotal h7 square, and then
Yeah, that's gonna be trouble.
checkmate. So that was good. That was good. So Jonathan was like, that took a long time to beat him that time. This is like ridiculous. I'm a busy man, okay? So he decides no more of this Mr. Nice Guy. It's all about obliteration, all right? So let's see if he can do it a little faster here. All right, Dr. Schuman starts out e4, and now knight f6. He saw my game and how good I was when I played the Alekhines. But Dr. Schuman knows, hey, I should probably protect this pawn, so he plays knight to c3. So now e5, knight f3, knight c6, the 4 knights games, because all the knights are out. Real original. All right, bishop c4, bishop c5, d3. So he just mocks them, okay? d6, the mirror image. I would have castled. Whenever you can castle, just get castled, right? Why put it off? h6. Oh, and he gets the double pawns. Now, if you were Dr. Schuman, would you be like, I should castle the safety here? Dr. Schuman. So, would you castle kingside in this position if you were white? Heck no, because then black can play rook to g8 and just crush you. All right, so he's like, I guess he knows. He'll just flip his knight to that side of the board. All right, so an idea for white should be queen here and then castle long.
Put the queen on h5. Move your knight and put the queen on h5 was, I thought, his idea. No?
No.
Then I have to play like rage.
All right, knight up. And now he's like, okay, it's all safe now that my knight is over in this corner here. Now I got g2 covered and life is good. All right, so let's get him. First things first, we're not going to let the queen down here. All right, fair enough. All right, so I wonder if he's going to put this knight in a pin. How did I know? How did I know? All right, so bishop. So now you got to play the dubious f3 here. Oh, you better not play f3. If you play f3, what would be so wrong with moving this f3 pawn here? Anywhere this knight goes, it's check. The discovered check, pretty powerful. So he's got to bring his knight up here. So check, pawn takes, bishop takes, and we still have the pin. And we're threatening something cool. So, all right, so he's got to get this queen out of the pin here. So if he gets the queen out of the pin, and after rook check, we're not checkmated. And we don't have to lose our queen, right? What move can he play?
Knight.
The knight. And then, of course, a pin piece. What do we do to pin pieces? Everybody should be yelling it. Attack them, right. Attack the pin pieces. Right. But unfortunately, Dr. Schuman probably just plays h4. Trying to create a little flight square for his king. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. I see a mate in 2. That's how good I am. You do all the hard work, and I'll find the mate in 2s.
But do you see 2 mate in 2s?
I stop looking once I find mate.
Bishop down.
Oh, you just want to give him your rook? You just want to say, oh. You're probably still winning. That's the funny thing. But you probably don't want to give them your pieces, okay? But that was a good idea. You know, you look for the checks. You know, so you find the one check and you're like, oh man, he takes my rook. So get that one out of the.
Queen up.
Yeah, just queen up.
No, queen. No, I went to C8.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You really didn't want a castle.
Yeah, give him no option. Yeah, and you just like you play it all the way to mate, and just hope. Hey, stranger things have happened. He might want to double his pawns up, and then checkmate. All right, game over. All right, that's obliteration for you. All right, so cool. Thank you for the submissions, and stay tuned for next week. It will be the season finale of Beginner Breakdown. I might even tell you what the meaning of life is. All right, so be sure to stay tuned for that.